Welcome in, everybody, to the campus of Ann Arbor Skyline High School, where we've got CTN's Game of the Week between Skyline Eagles and the Pioneer Pioneers. With me, as always, the Lionel Messi to my Neymar, Pete Poyer. Pete, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty good, Nick. How are you?
Great, thank you. Looking forward to Game of the Week here.
And we are underway. Skyline takes possession to start the match. 2 40-minute halves. And as you saw there, Skyline with obviously the much better record than Pioneer here at the tail end of the season. It is senior night. They introduced the 4 seniors on the Skyline team. So Skyline with the much better record, and it being on their home turf and it's senior night, they want to look out, go out with a bang.
No, you're definitely right about that, Pete. However, the only thing that is the greater equalizer than a crosstown rivalry is the weather, and we've had a bit of that rain all afternoon, so that field's going to be a little bit slick here. We'll see who that may or may not benefit this evening.
The rain is holding off for now. Overcast skies. Temperature was right around 70 degrees before the rain started. It probably dropped a good 10, 12 degrees at this point, which I'm sure the players probably appreciated being a little bit cooler, but not terribly uncomfortable. Certainly no particular wind gusting at this time. It's a little breezy, but certainly not uncomfortable, as I said.
It's a quality weather breakdown. You know the barometric pressure while you're at it?
No.
And Skyline playing it back a little bit to work their possession moving forward. And again, Pete, you did mention the records earlier on. Skyline with a much better record. However, this is the second matchup between these two squads. And that one, the first time they played, they ended up in a 1-1 tie. So you never know what might happen.
Skyline trying to move it downfield. The pass too far. Picked up there by the Pioneer goalkeeper. And she will boot it away. There's another near opportunity for the Eagles. Again, pass just a little bit too far for the on-rushing attacker.
There's a second straight opportunity for Kai Katola there, just a little bit out of her reach on both of those last chances. And honestly, Pete, that is one of the issues that you'll have with a wet field like this, is the ball will move a lot quicker. The speed will definitely pick up for the ball.
Well, instead of a rotation on the ball, it'll skid off of that wet turf. So I think there probably is a little bit of a period of adjustment for both teams here, trying to get used to the conditions on the field, not only with the action of the ball, but their footing.
Absolutely.
A nice intercept there. Eagles get the ball back.
You know, one thing we are seeing right now is some pretty aggressive play from the Pioneers. They're taking the fight to the Eagles in their own half. And again, worth mentioning, Pioneer does not score a whole lot of goals. In fact, they went their first 7 games before they put one in the net.
That is a long dry spell.
Yeah, you know, opportunities like that, you just always kind of got to wonder, like, are we ever going to do it? But again, when you play aggressive like we just saw in that replay, you got to make your own luck sometimes.
There's a hard tackle there. We get a free kick awarded to the Eagles. Pioneer player on the field. Back up.
Sophie Potterella there, playing mid-back there for the Pioneers. She looks to be up and moving about now. And here we see Potterella there, just might have just tweaked her knee a little bit coming into contact with the Eagles player there. No harm, no foul.
Well, Eagles controlling play at this point.
Outstanding series of passes there by Skyline.
Again, just that pass way too far out in front of the onrushing Skyline Eagle.
And one more time, we see the center mid from Skyline sending a pass along just a little too much pace on it. And again, still could be getting their footing, could be getting a feel for how this ball is moving and sailing along on that artificial turf. Another thing worth mentioning, talking to Coach Morgan before the game, they're trying out a new formation currently. So they're moving away from their typical 4-5-1 into a 4-3-3. So a few more attackers out there position-wise for the Eagles.
Well, the Eagles controlling the tempo and play. And it just kind of looks like at this point it's a matter of time before they start connecting on their passes and starting to put a little pressure on the Pioneer goalkeeper. Pioneer, as of yet, really has not had a scoring chance on the Skyline goalkeeper, even though the ball has been down in that zone a couple of times.
No, again, Pete, yeah, thus far a lot of Pioneer game plan is kind of to concede the ball more or less. And what they work on doing is, limiting the quality of shots that their opponents will be taking. Maybe not the quantity, but the quality. And thus far, almost 10 minutes in, they've pretty much done that.
Again, both teams fighting for possession. That is out of bounds off an Eagle player. That'll be Pioneer ball. They will get the throw in. Eagles with the throw in. A long crossfield pass, but no real Eagle there to receive the ball. Not sure what the plan was there. Maybe just an errant pass.
And those will definitely happen from time to time.
throw in for Skyline. The Eagles just look a little scrambly, a little out of control at the moment.
Yeah, maybe they're still all kind of getting a feel for their new positioning, getting a feel for where exactly they want to be and where they should be on the field currently with this new formation. But again, Pioneers defense is solid. They know what their game plan is. They know how to execute their game plan, and there's nothing new about what they're trying to do. So they're in mid to end season form what they're trying to accomplish here.
So that last attempt out of bounds. So possession awarded to Pioneer. They get a goal kick.
Angie Knight there. Wide shot left.
Trying to work the ball a little wide. That one's too far. Knocked out of bounds by Pioneer. That should be a Skyline throw-in.
And sure enough, that's Megan Marsh about to throw that one in.
A nice play there by Bailey Christensen to keep the ball in bounds for Skyline. And she gets it back again. Trying to find someone in the middle. And again, just can't connect. And picked up by the goalkeeper. 27-40 to play here in half number one.
And there we see that drop back pass right there to Bailey Christensen. And again, that one just got a little away from her. I think she was looking for her striker there that was cutting outside. Just didn't quite get on the same page on that one.
Substitution for the Pioneers, number 1, Eleanor Duck.
Trying to get the ball to settle down now. Christensen gets it. It's going to go off of her out of bounds. Skyline will keep possession. Certainly looked like it was off of her out of bounds. Eagles trying to get it together and get a scoring opportunity. But the Pioneer defense has been up to the task, keeping the ball away from the goal.
You're definitely right about the Pioneer defense, but I noticed one thing about Skyline and their passing. They're doing an excellent job these last few times up the field with very condensed passes. They're doing a great job working in small areas. And obviously sending the pass is one thing, but receiving it, as they're doing, is also just as critical.
.25 minutes to play in the first half. No score as of yet here on CTN's Game of the Week. Hope you're enjoying the LA action. I'm Pete Poirier along with Nick Wisniewski with the play-by-play call for you.
Substitution for the Eagles, number 17, Gina DeVore.
Recently subbed in Gina Devorin right there with the inbounds pass. And slowly but surely, Skyline working their way up the field.
And ball out of bounds. That's going to go back to Pioneer. We'll get the throw in. Once again, that Pioneer defense standing up and getting the ball out of harm's way. Can't really get the ball past the three-quarter mark of the field as the Skyline defense responds.
No, no, you're right on. Skyline's defense has done a nice job of stepping up. They've also done a nice job of, kind of starting their offense, but it just seems like they're having a hard time connecting with their mids.
Well, and that seems to be where the Pioneer defense seems to be challenging the Skyline team, is in the midfield area.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing a great job of marking their oncoming players and making sure that nobody slips by them. And it seems like, it seems like they've always got two people on that oncoming attacker as well.
And a near score there.
Shot was saved by the goalie for Pioneer.
Close call for the Eagles. Number 13, Tatiana Mason. And you could see her wave her hands and a little frustration there after that ball did not go in the net.
Even from up here, I think you can see Tatiana Mason's eyes just light up, working hard to get that, and finally got a little bit of open space with a nice little move over there to her left. Excellent stop there by Moya Dayton, for the Pioneers. Early test for her, and she stood up to the challenge.
Oh, golden opportunity by the wayside for the Skyline Eagles.
Tatiana Mason, I think, is definitely going to be a player that we're going to be calling a lot here this evening, Pete, as more and more opportunities show up. She's actually committed to Ball State to play soccer next year.
Ball out of bounds, Skyline throw in.
Substitution for the Eagles, number 16.
Approaching the halfway mark of the first half. Well, Skyline moving it downfield once again. Now Mason with it. Their centering pass misses the mark. Knocked out of harm's way for the moment.
Mason with some excellent ball handling there.
Surrounded by 3 Pioneer players.
Came right into a wall, but again, still had the presence of mind to notice that, recognize that, turn that around, and try to switch fields up. You see Mason here with some fancy footwork, turning around, finding some open field for her, finding a teammate just a little bit out of reach once again.
Now once again, that pass just a little bit too far.
Dayton there with another solid drop kick.
Knocked away by Pioneer. Another throw in for the Eagles. Once again, Pioneers, or the Eagles, try and gather it and get an attack going, and stopped at the midfield mark by the Pioneer defense.
Yeah, on a pretty consistent basis. It sure looks like Alexandra Freshley is really the only quote-unquote striker for the Pioneers right now. Everybody else in a purple uniform is just back in marking and back in keeping an eye on 1 or 2 players from the Eagles.
No forwards are forward.
that's basically it. Concise, I like that. And again, even that play there didn't really look like it was trying to start something going or send a couple of passes. That was a let's clear it out and see who brings the ball back. And, you know, Pioneer strategy does have a little merit in the fact that they've only got 2 seniors on this squad. They graduated a lot of upperclassmen last year. Last year, the Pioneers were actually district champs.
Well, Pioneer in a bit of a regrouping year, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Gaining experience. Trying to build on the future.
Exactly, and you know, they do have some things they can hang their head on this year. They did have that tie earlier in the year with Skyline. They had a tie earlier in the year with Celine as well. And they're both quality squads they've got those ties with. You know, honestly, if you look at it from Pioneer standpoint, that's victories.
Another close call here. Well, I think at this point in the match, with just under 16 minutes to play in the first half, Pioneer has to look at it as a victory at this point.
Absolutely.
They dodged a couple of bullets.
Yep. Yeah, Skyline's quality of shots has not been very high. And the couple of really good opportunities they got, their goaltender got in there.
Substitution for the Eagles, number 4, Ian Shanawani. Substitutions in for the Pioneers, number 4, Emma Rodenheiser. Number 8, Gabrielle Dima. And number 9, Valerie Dawes.
On the counter.
You know, Nick, it'll be interesting to see in the second half if Pioneer tries to go a little bit more offensive if this stays a 0-0 tie.
Yeah, you have to wonder if they're going to try to take some punches here on the road, so to speak, against Skyline, or if they'll be happy just buckling down and continuing on with their defensive efforts and trying for the tie. There's junior Alicia Clark almost gaining the zone there.
Skyline defense there ready to cover up and did so.
And again, Skyline's defense for the most part of this game has been trying to generate offense, but when called upon, they've made the stops that they need to do.
They'll throw in for the Eagles.
Familiar territory.
Yes, absolutely. Far side of the field.
That one bounced right over Dayton's head. Fortunate that she had the proper angle on it. That could have been catastrophic. You see the little bouncer. Dayton moved a little forward on it.
Substitution for the Eagles. Number 11, Olivia Oswald.
But must have gotten a hand on it because we've got our first corner kick of the evening coming up here.
Corner kick?
Skyline. With everybody packed in there, I'm really surprised that there's nobody from the Eagles getting a little closer to that so they can do a little dink and dunk.
Ball in a crowd. Knocked away by Pioneer, and that last shot over the barn behind the net and out of bounds. Goal kick for Pioneer.
Ball squirted out to Angie Knight there, and she took a solid hack at it. Yeah, so you got some good air under that corner right there. But again, everybody's just in tight. Everybody's compacted. Bouncing around like a pinball down in there. And again, Angie Knight ready for that one. Just couldn't get it back into the center of the field.
Under 12 minutes to go here in half number one.
Hey, you know, Pete, another great thing to look at that I've noticed from the Eagles here these last few minutes, like one big thing, fundamental-wise, when you're looking at high school soccer, is players try to move in triangles. You know, whether it's 2 forward and 1 back, or as the ball moves up, the triangle is supposed to shift. I've seen some really good moves from the Eagles in that direction. So again, fundamentally, they're doing the things they're supposed to be, and as the game progresses, you got to think that you know, those passes will be received a little bit better, and things will open up for them a little bit more.
And this from an old experienced soccer player.
Used to play some soccer.
Oh, back in the day from Nick Wisniewski.
Believe it or not, soccer did not get the same amount of attention as our other fall sport rivals. Soccer in the springtime is nice, though. I like it.
Yeah, it comes with a, you know, the weather's getting better and better every day, and comes with that springtime attitude.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Things are getting greener.
Except on the artificial turf. This is the most action the Pioneer team has had in the Skyline zone all game.
No, you're absolutely right about that. And again, in that first meeting between these two squads, Pioneer scored early. And honestly, it caught both squads a little off guard. Skyline didn't know what to do themselves, and even Pioneer, they were in uncharted territory having an early lead.
Good play there. Bring the ball back over the midfield stripe.
Nice.
Skyline
Another errant pass there by the Eagles.
Skyline pretty much back to work in their offense, or office, excuse me, here, mid part of the field.
Skyline trying to move the ball downfield, but just not very effective at this point in the match.
No, and again, the last couple of times they've come up, they've tried to kind of blast it up 20 or 25 yards, and, you know, that's definitely not what they should be doing. Again, I'm sure that their coach wants them shorter, more concise passes.
Under 8 minutes to go here in half number one. As they say in Europe, 0-0. Skyline trying to work the ball upfield, a little bit more methodical this time. Trying to get the Pioneer players out of position.
No, you can definitely tell that Coach Morgan was really pressing them to get on that. That's Coach Chris Morgan, coaching the Skyline Eagles in his 9th year as the coach. He said he's been here since the inception of the school and/or program, and you know he's seen things really coming along.
Six and a half to go here in half number one.
Saw Coach Morgan there.
Substitutions in for the Pioneers, number 2, Madeline Whitcomb, and number 6, Alexandra Crusher.
Coach Morgan also told us a story about that first year when they only had freshmen. You know, the season progressed nicely and they were happy. They actually entered the state tournament as a Class 3 grouping and made a little noise. And it's little things like that that are going to help build a program right from the get-go. You can tell it's a sharp coach and knows exactly what he's doing. And before Coach Morgan was here, he coached at Pioneer for many a year. You know, I know there's no animosity when you leave a place and you go to another school, cross town or otherwise, but you got to wonder, Pete, if, you know, there's a little something extra in for a match like this.
Well, you not only beat your rival, but there's a little extra juice there, having been at the other school beforehand. Always makes these matches a little bit more interesting. And I think that's kind of what's so nice about the City of Ann Arbor schools is that, you know, all these teams and players, you know, they play in the off season with each other and against each other, so they're very, very familiar with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, there's club teams all over Southeast Michigan, just high-profile club teams that they can play again. You know, not quite year-round, But yeah, the players become familiar with each other, and it's high quality soccer.
There's a centering pass, a little too far. Gathered in and out of bounds. That's off Pioneer player. Throwing in the near side for Skyline. 4 minutes to play in the first half.
Haven't had a whole lot of action for the Skyline Eagles down that left side, but that was a nice left boot crossing over there.
Pioneers just happy getting it out of bounds, keeping the Eagles at bay, and then trying to take advantage like that with an errant throw-in. Seems like the girls are really aggressive on their throw-ins as well.
And I wonder if that's something that they've seen previously, they know that they need to exploit, or if that's a chink in the old armor of this this Pioneer defense.
Yes! Woo! Now talk to her. Your left.
Pioneer trying to get a quick attack in at the waning moments of the first half. That one knocked away by the Skyline defense, so throw in for Pioneer. That fails to connect. Eagles covered up.
Once again.
I guess you could describe this half as a first half of near misses for both teams, really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you got to wonder, will advantage be taken come second half?
And which team will it be?
Right.
And will Pioneer get that lucky break and get a good scoring opportunity and put the ball in the net? Or will the constant pressure of the Eagles finally materialize, and will their passing game come together and really put that pressure on that looks like they can on the Pioneer defense and the goalkeeper, and score a goal for the Eagles?
That's a classic tease right there, Pete. Stay tuned is the only thing you missed on that one.
Second half coming up next. Oh, minute 10 to play. Looks like a free kick's going to be awarded to Pioneer on that collision.
Yeah. Both players go up. That said, Mallory Dawes for Pioneer went straight up, as opposed to her Eagles counterpart was a little sideways on that one. It'll give advantage to the Pioneers.
Final 30 seconds of play in the first half.
Freshly there, sending that pass to no one. She expected somebody, and that would have been a great place for one of the other strikers to be moving towards, but just no one there.
Final seconds being counted down by the PA announcer. Thank you very much for that.
Helpful.
And that will do it for half number one. no score by either team in the first half in our CTN Sports Game of the Week. We are going to take a break and be back with second half action when we come back.
I just wish there was some place I could watch my favorite local TV shows. Whoa! Ah! Cool, where am I? I want to know! What is this place?
You are in a computer terminal.
Who said that?
I am the god of computers, electrical devices and social media interfaces.
This is awesome!
I heard your wish and granted you access to my terminal.
Whoa, really? I've always wanted to be inside one of these things. So what's next?
Visit CTN's and the City of Ann Arbor's streaming and video on demand 82gov.org/watchctn.
This is awesome! What do I do there?
Here you can watch city meetings, community-produced programs, school board and education programming, and a whole lot more.
Yes! This is great!
The live streams include CTN's 4 channels: government, public, educational, and community. Just click the sidebar for the channel you prefer and click play.
There's 4 channels here. I can watch 4 channels. Cool.
The video on demand option lists city meetings and CTN series in drop-down folders for a quick and easy viewing process. Programs are listed by dates or you can sort by title.
Are you kidding me? I wish I knew about this earlier.
Visit 82gov.org/watchctn for CTN live streams and video on demand.
That's great. Now I can go tell my friends once I leave. So, how do I get out of here?
Goodbye.
Hello? How do I get back to my life? I've got stuff to do. I mean, hello? Hello? Okay, I mean, I thought there'd be more to my life, but this is it?
Hello and welcome to Conversation. Thank our viewers for joining us today, and we'll look forward to your continued support here on Conversations. Thank you.
Let me ask you a question. What do you value? How about access to your child's education, their football game, their swim meet, their high school musical, their academic future? Does that matter? What about your access to your government, your police, fire, and public safety, parks and recreation activities, state and local officials, the folks you elect to make decisions for your community? Is that worth anything to you? What about your rights, freedom of speech, to communicate your message, to let your voice be heard? That's got to count for something, right? So let me ask you again, what do you value? How about public, educational, and government access television? It belongs to you. Let's keep it that way.
What is CTN?
CTN? Isn't that the Commerce Telemarketing neighborhood or something?
CTN is Ann Arbor's community television network. We have provided free television production workshops and services to residents and nonprofit organizations since 1973. We also provide free programming about our community on cable channels 16, 17, 18, and 19. So, if you have an event coming up, are part of a nonprofit, or you simply just want to get creative, come on by. For more information, visit us at www.a2gov.org/CTN.
And welcome back for second half action on CTN Sports Game of the Week. We are scoreless as the Eagles and Pioneers retake the field for the second half. Nick, why don't you recap that first half?
Not a lot to recap on the pitch there, that first half. Again, just recapping the overall seasons and strategies for these two clubs. Pioneer plays back. They play a lot of defense, and they're content to just clear the ball instead of trying to start up on the offense. Skyline has had some decent opportunities, just bounces just a little too far, one step away, maybe one pass more could have gotten them some better opportunities. I'm sure that the Eagles will be looking for crisper passes that find true feet and opportunities where they can see the goal a little bit better.
Let's see if either team has made some adjustments during the halftime break.
See if the Eagles can implement any give and goes here in this half. I could see that they had the eyes for him that first half, but never really got any of that momentum going either.
Oh, ball out of bounds. Pioneer will get the goal kick.
Maura Dayton waiting for her players to move around.
Well, Pioneer will get the throw in this time. Pass to Mason over midfield. Is he looking to work it down the sideline? Try and center the ball. She'll send it back. Now it comes into the middle. A little bit more, a little better passing there by the Eagles this time.
Quality sequence of events there for the Eagles, starting off with Tatiana Mason making a couple of moves, but then kind of getting herself caught in that corner. She did a nice job of pulling out and then switching fields. Thus far, crisp passes here for the Eagles. Crisp and concise.
A shot directed towards the net. Knocked away by the Pioneer defense. It's going to be a corner kick for the Eagles.
We saw Gabrielle Catola there on that. Nice move to go and get into her right.
Kick is away into the center. Tried to head it on net. There's another shot. Can't get through a bunch of legs, and that one's out of bounds. A throw-in awarded to the Eagles.
Solid job of dropping her head down. Just couldn't quite direct the ball where she needed it to go. And then you're right, there's just a whole scrum of players right there.
Well, I think this is what kind of the Eagles were looking at doing a little bit more of in the first half, but weren't able to accomplish with the sloppy passing that was going on. A lot more pressure on the Pioneers' defense in this half.
Yeah, great passing again. Great job receiving a lot of those passes. They are definitely working all those angles. Very nice. As Catola almost looked like she was moving away from that. Caught her on the side of the noggin there. And then at the end of the day, is Sophie Poderella there clearing the ball out.
Substitution for the Pioneers, number 14, Dylan Gilbert.
We lost by like 5.
Pioneer throw-in. The Eagles there to cover up. Move it back downfield. A free kick awarded to Pioneer.
Yeah, here we'll see some quality takeaway there by Pioneer. Yeah, getting a little army there. Both players there, arms on each other. That's what's going to happen.
Mason with the ball. Looked to take a long shot, but that hit a Pioneer player.
Mason's got excellent outside footwork. She's definitely pulled that move a few different times today. She's got great control of that thing.
Eagles definitely controlling play here. Inside the first 8 minutes of the second half.
We saw the Eagles doing a nice job of some forechecking right there. Again, taking the attack back at Pioneer.
Eagles trying to work it upfield. Pioneer not letting them do it.
No, for a change, Pioneers, it seems like they brought four or five players up on the other side of the field. That's a rare look for Pioneer.
Now throw in for Pioneer.
Waiting on a couple of substitutions here.
Substitution in for the Pioneers, number 9, Mallory Dawes. Substitutions in for the Eagles, number 24, Brooke Robinson. Number 21, Isabel Crum. And number 32, Gabrielle.
Ball off of an Eagle player. Throw in for a Pioneer. Quickly recovered by the Eagles, but again taken away from them. And again, a play getting a little rambly, scrambly in the middle of the field again, which really plays into the Pioneers' hands.
Absolutely, they're more than happy to kind of sweep up junk and knock it out of the way. Whereas Skyline, thus far this half, had been working towards playing a more precise half.
Oh, ball down close to the goal. It looked like that was touched by a hand, maybe not.
Shot received by number 3.
Another close call for the Eagles.
We can take a look. Maura Dayton definitely got a hand on that. Let's see this. Once again, many Pioneers all in the scrum there. See Dayton gets a hand on it there, and then again double hand bat away. And Sophia Shoney there. Not Johnny on the spot. Jenny on the spot, maybe? Gets the ball out.
That'll work. Under 30 minutes to go here in half number 2. Yeah, definitely more pressure being applied by the Eagles.
And you know, to be honest, to be in the mindset of the Eagles, like it's got to be frustrating. You know, you're playing pretty well, but by and large, you just keep running into wall after wall of defensive player, not getting those quality opportunities, barely getting any opportunities, frankly. And then just so you can get the ball back and shuffle back up 40, 45 yards and do the whole thing, you know, wave after wave, play after play.
Well, and you got to feel like you're the better team, too.
Mm-hmm.
A corner kick here for Skyline. Ball is entered, and that was a nice save by the goalkeeper, preventing any header or ricochet of the ball before as it came down.
It's a quality boot up, too. Just very nice. Got some good air. Not too much spin. But Maura Dayton gets a little air under her, grabs that.
Oh, Mason bringing it down the near side here, trying to center it, and knocked away by Pioneer. .27 minutes to play in the match. A long leader pass, and just wide of the goal as the goalkeeper out of position. That ball just wide by a foot or two.
Katola with a great job redirecting that shot. And like as you mentioned, Pete, goalkeeper completely out of position for something like that. Just a very nice little touch on that.
Pioneers dodge another bullet.
Alicia Clark. And also for the Pioneers, number 19, Elizabeth Kresge.
Pioneers bring it back the other way. A lucky bounce there, now knocked away by Skyline.
Quickly scooped up and cleared away by the Eagles, though. See that bullish opportunity there by the Pioneers. Great effort by Alicia Clark, just sheer force of will really gaining that zone.
Eagles having a hard time controlling the ball. Pioneer getting in the way of a lot of the passing lanes and knocking the ball away.
Yeah, you called it, Pete, right there. I mean, again, something the Pioneer has shown that they're really, really exceptional at is taking away those passing lanes, marking that oncoming player coming in, and just making sure that they're controlling the pace even though they don't have the ball.
An Eagle player hits the turf. And they will get awarded with the free kick.
Here we see some legs get crossed up there. A bit of a tire burn out there.
Momentary takeaway by Pioneer. Skyline bringing it right back the other way. Another opportunity. And the crossing shot just wide of the net once again for the Eagles.
Once again, a rare opportunity for the Eagles there to actually find some green, find some space, whether it was in the middle in front of that wall of defenders or just a nice little punch through here, as we're about to see. Great job receiving. Had a pretty quality look, but again, a solid 25 yards out. It's tough to put the right foot on that. And again, not a great angle either.
Number 15, Karen Mays.
Intensity level starting to rise just a bit here. 22 minutes and change left in the second half. Neither team has yet to score.
Yeah, Pete, you got to wonder on the Eagles' end if getting that quality opportunity that last time down, has that kind of gotten the blood flowing a little bit, kind of maybe smell blood in the water.
The Pioneer defense does a really good job collapsing on the player with the ball. There's another shot just sailing wide of the net again. Lots of pressure by the Eagles. Just haven't been rewarded with the goal.
Solid effort here we'll see from Karen Mays. Nice left-footed effort there by the freshman. Again, another quality opportunity there by the Eagles will probably invigorate them, but I really don't see them moving away from their game plan of small, controlled passes.
Nice. Woo! All right, beautiful.
There's a chance for the Pioneers. Try and direct a shot on net. And they just can't get the pass to connect. And Skyline gets the throw in.
Seems like any opportunity the Pioneers have had offensively has pretty much been led by Alicia Clark. She receives that ball and she barrels forward. She's done an excellent job of, again, just gaining zones and will alone. And a little bit of luck.
Well, and you got to feel like, as a player, you know, get a little tired of the defensive stance you take all the time. You want to score. You want to move the ball downfield. You want to put pressure on the goalkeeper. You want to do what the other team's doing, regardless of how your team is playing the game. You know, you still want to get that opportunity.
And you see ball bouncing around a little bit there. Two hands, a little slide there. Once again, no harm,
Went to a soccer match and a wrestling match broke out. A little bit of a takedown there, looked like.
With under 20 minutes to go, again, you know, not going to say temper is flare, but again, you're going to get a little more aggressive. And as the opportunities get closer and closer, yeah, nice reverse angle on that one. Nice. Bringing you all the action here on CTN's Game of the Week.
There's a nice chip shot on net, knocked away by the goalkeeper.
And the home faithful applauding Meyer Dayton there.
There's a look at that last opportunity.
Just excellent little chip shot. Doesn't follow all the way through on that kick. Brings in a nice little bit of backspin. You got backspin on the ball. You never know what could happen with it.
Ball knocked out of bounds by a Pioneer player, so we have a corner kick for the Eagles. This one a lot lower and knocked away. And blasted away by the Pioneer defense, out of bounds.
Substitution for Pioneers number 8, Gabrielle Demont. Substitution in for the Eagles, number 11, Olivia Oswald.
The Pioneer moving it down the far sideline. Really no one there. Knocked out of bounds.
No, and that is definitely the big issue with what Clark's got to be looking at. She has to take it the whole way because she pretty much doesn't have anybody up there with her.
Well, Pioneer awarded the corner. "17 minutes to play in the half and the match." A long pass there, trying to hit Mason.
Eagles, number 16, Maria Wiseman.
And Skyline substituting freely and often. Trying to get fresh players in there on the attack. And that throw-in missed the Eagle player and went right to the goalkeeper.
And you know, Pete, you really hit on something pretty interesting. I mean, soccer clearly a huge endurance sport, but most of the Skyline players aren't running the length of the field up and down often, but they're sprinting a lot in that attack zone. So that's going to take it out of you a little bit quicker. So yeah, those frequent substitutions are necessary.
A goal kick awarded to Skyline.
We got Hallie Benazik Hall there, goalkeeper for Skyline. Haven't had to call her name too much this evening.
A long pass, that's just too far for the Eagle player on the far side of the field. Throw in for Pioneer. Immediately knocked out of bounds. It'll be Skyline throw in. Long throw in. Trying to get it to Mason, and she's being blocked away from the ball.
Very nice one touch to the outside there.
Skyline can't control. Another throw in for Pioneer. Skyline controlling once again. Another errant pass there. 12.5 minutes to play.
It really seems like even at this point, Pioneer is conceding a good 20 yards in midfield there and just letting their players sit back and just have that wall of 4 defenders. So I guess right now the onus is, if you are the Eagles, either try to take a long stab at one, or again, just try to get your passes up a little bit, like they might be trying to do right here.
That one was directed wide of the net by Mason.
See the frustration on her face there. You see her carrying across as much as possible, just hoping to get a little bit of look in front of her. She didn't have a whole lot of space in front of her, but she took what she was given. quality effort.
Also substitution for the Pioneers, number 9, Mallory Goss.
Yeah, really nice head getting the ball back into the zone. Skyline striker, though, just couldn't make it past her defender.
Well, Pioneer player hits the turf and they get the free kick.
Captain Kai Katola there, possibly a little too aggressive. Whoop. Actually, that would have been disadvantage of Lindsay Dvorin there.
Just 10 minutes left to play in the match. Good defensive play there. Pioneers playing a little bit more forward.
It seems like they brought that, instead of a wall of defenders, they've got those wall of midfielders. And again, hard for the Eagles to penetrate.
Ball out of bounds off an Eagle, so Pioneer with the throw-in.
Substitution for Pioneer, number 8, Gabrielle Demai.
Here you see Pioneer putting a little pressure in their zone.
Substitutions in for Skyline. Number
Last
7,
8 minutes of play in regulation.
and number 6, Gabrielle Fatola.
Opportunity for Pioneer. Shot directed on net, an easy save made.
Once again, Alicia Clark on the effort there, only this time coming up the right side. You see Clark after she made that nice move inside there. After that, though, just kind of now nowhere left to go once again. Skyline defenders came back, marked their players, put an end to that before one last quick opportunity there. Got a nice foot on that for falling down.
There's a break for the Eagles. Can't get much on the shot, and the save made.
Katola had a little bit of an opening there, but not much angle, and she couldn't put any real mustard behind that shot or pass, either one. She was fortunate just to kind of break away and get that opportunity, though. There it is, just a little send into the middle. Once again, great job by the Pioneer defense, though, to limit those big opportunities.
Knocked away by Pioneer. Looks like the refs awarded the throw in to Pioneer. So that was off a Skyline player. Approaching 5 minutes to play. And ball just out of bounds.
Clark
Possession back to Skyline.
Clark couldn't wrangle it in, and I don't know if she gave it a little too much of a stretch there, but she's got a little bit of a Charlie horse there, maybe a little chuck wagon. She's walking it off, though.
It's his ball, purple!
Looks like the Eagles are starting to pick up the pace just a little bit, getting their throw-ins a little bit quicker.
Yeah, that immediacy is definitely turning in here with 3.5 minutes left. Even see the Skyline keeper trying to get into the action here.
Trying to move that ball forward as quickly as they can, and just can't seem to get a concerted effort going down in the Pioneer zone.
No, playing faster definitely isn't going to make it playing better. There's Katola there, maybe a little frustration taking its toll on her. It's the younger Katola. Just a little too much contact back to back there.
Move, purple!
2 minutes to play.
Unforced error there by the Eagles.
Substitution for the Pioneers, number 9, Mallory Dawes.
Clark tried centering there and was blocked away.
1 minute remaining in the game.
Under a minute to go.
Let's see if the Eagles make a rush push to try to take advantage of this last 45 seconds here.
Just 20 seconds left in regulation. And the last bit of seconds, it will run off the clock. And this game will end in regulation 0-0.
For attending tonight's games, please drive home safely and have a wonderful evening.
And that's how it will finish in a 0-0 tie.
And yeah, it seems like both squads content with that being the finality of things here. Again, coming up on the state tournament, nobody wants to risk any sort of injury. No bad blood here. Let's just call it a night, and we'll go to school tomorrow.
I'd like to thank all the people that make this production possible. Our director, Rob Cross. Audio and replay by Matt Drake. Our computer graphics by Carl McCoy. And our camera people, Gage Shaughnessy, Steve Mackey, and Natalia Tejada. And for Nick Wisniewski, this is Pete Poyer. Once again, the final here from Skyline High School. It ends in a 0-0 tie.